In 2016, New Zealand golfers will fly the Kiwi flag alongside rowers, shot putters and cyclists. Golf's inclusion in the Rio Olympics will see our best golfers tiered up alongside many other sporting icons. An addition that has excited the New Zealand Olympic Committee.
For golf, it must be so exciting that they never compete for their country. I mean, the only people who get to do that are the USA through the Ryder Cup and the women's equivalent event. I think you even see that in sports like tennis that have come into the Olympics, how much it means to people to represent their country. And I think, a young athlete like a Lydia would, I think, thrive on that opportunity.
Being part of the Olympic movement will benefit not just those golfers who wear the silver fern at the Games, but many others throughout the sport.
We think there's probably three major things that being in the Olympics will have a positive impact on golf. The first being growth and exposure of the sport. More people viewing golf, more people seeing golf, engaging with more fans. That's a really positive thing. Second is the playing pathway. Our golfers now who might aspire to be major champions now have an aspiration to be an Olympian. That's quite a cool thing. And thirdly, the participation spin-offs. We think that there should be a lot more people want to pick up and play golf once they see it as an Olympic sport, something that mainstream people can play and do, and that you can be an Olympian being a golfer.
Everyone from Lydia Ko to Michael Campbell have voiced their passion to represent New Zealand at the Olympics. A gold medal now as sought after as a green jacket. We used to hear them always talk about wanting to win majors. We now hear them talk about wanting to be Olympians and wanting to win gold medals, and these are seasoned professionals that have been playing for decades, so I think there's a lot of excitement around what the Olympics will be. I wasn't too sure what the professional world would think about the Olympics. Would they want to play? Would they want to represent New Zealand? We've been overwhelmed with their sort of enthusiasm for it. Just 60 men and 60 women golfers will compete for gold at the Olympics, with no more than 2 golfers per nation in each field. And while New Zealand golf could qualify 2 males and 2 females, that doesn't guarantee the likes of Michael Hendry joining Lydia Ko in Rio.
New Zealand Olympic Committee set a standard that athletes in contention for selection need to demonstrate they're capable of a top 16 finish, at least, aiming for a top 8. So the situation for golf would be to demonstrate that their athletes, first of all, qualify a spot, and then secondly, are at that level ready to be nominated. And they demonstrate that through performances at major events. So, clearly where Lydia's performing at the moment, she would be well in contention. I guess some of the male golfers, it's they've got 2 or 3 years to see where they lift themselves up to in the rankings and in terms of results.
On last week's rankings, New Zealand would have 2 males and 2 females in the field. The point we'll be trying to push forward is that the golf context is very different to some other sports, and the probability of a golfer winning in a field of 60 is far higher and independent of their world rankings than a lot of other sports. And our view is that if there is a field of 60 and New Zealand has 2 players in each gender eligible, then they should be in that field. One of the difficulties is that field will never ever play in any other event. It's very unique just for the Olympics. So we'll be looking to put some science around the probability of our players medaling up at Rio, and we think that given the rankings we've got and the probability of the players we have now, then that's a really good shot for us. So we'll be lobbying hard for that.
Qualification may be still up for grabs, but it seems certain that Lydia Ko will be rubbing shoulders with Mahe Drysdale, Valerie Adams and Lisa Carrington.
She's a stunning athlete, and I know that we'll be really excited to have her in the team. There's a real diversity. You get some of the team sports are much more Polynesian look and feel. Māori culture is a very strong part of who we are and what we stand for. So I think that Lydia and the golfers, any of them, would be totally embraced as part of that team.
We've got some of our golfers who are superstars in their own right. If you take a Michael Campbell or a Danny Lee or Michael Hendry or Lydia Ko, that having those people in the New Zealand team environment, I think, will be pretty positive for the other athletes, but quite exciting for the guys, I think, and particularly the younger guys who sort of looking at 2016 and 2020 as an aspirational thing. Would they be part of a New Zealand wider Olympic team? And I think that's pretty inspiring for a lot of our young people.